There we are, I think. Yes. Live from the bridge of the USS Trekyards, Captain Foley and Commander Cockings.
Hi, everybody!
Hi, Dr. Commander.
Hi, Captain... Husband of Sylvia? It's like, what titles do you have?
Lord. I'm officially a Lord.
That's true.
So,
Yep. Canon.
yeah. Lord Captain.
I got
Ozzy,
that from
though.
my dad like 11 years ago. And he was like, oh, that's a great present. Never did anything with it. But use the power of the lordship. You're wasting a lordship. Why? Why?
Ozzy, though. Speaking of Lords, Ozzy throws in $5. It's Wednesday. Time for pineapple pizza, blood wine, and prune juice.
Yeah.
A good day to die with Canada hot dogs and cookies. Oh my goodness. And he also throws in $2 and says, "Where is the bathroom on the bridge?" Well, many of them do show you where the bathroom is in fact located.
Yes.
At least in blueprints.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, the more evolved the bridge design, the more bathrooms they have. And then they go backwards a step.
But I really like Tezengari's answer, though. They have grown beyond the need for toilets. Sanitary transporters remove the waste from your intestines and bladder, allowing you to work without breaks.
Yeah, we have talked about that before. It's not unreasonable. If a little bit like, oh no.
That would be a funky feeling, though.
But I mean, you would have grown up with it, right? Everything seems odd until it's like, yeah. I mean, what do you mean you haven't got sphinctal transporter units? We've had them for the last 120 years. Like, okay, cool.
That's true.
Yeah, context is very important in all things, but you know, tech especially, you forget to realize how normal things are when we haven't got them, but some things are very normal in the future. You know, the important future. How you doing, Stuart? How was your weekend?
I am good. My weekend was kind of uneventful. I had to go see my dad and my brothers on Saturday. I spent the day with them, which was nice. And then Sunday, didn't do much of anything. Watched some Expanse, played some Helldivers 2, you know, that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, chill.
how about you?
Chill can be
I know
good.
you had a busy weekend.
Yes, we went to a
Stargating.
Stargate convention, the first in hopefully a new line of fan-run conventions. Had to be there early-ish on Friday for us anyway, and then so I ended up sort of prepping Thursday night, and then was there until sort of Monday, just because of travel and people and times. No, it was good. It was small, very very small, but you know, small means intimate. To talk to actors at your own whatever, and I helped a little bit, and I did the event, and Marie was there, and she enjoyed it. Some.
Nice.
You know, it's like if I went to a if you and I went to I assume you haven't seen it, Sex and the City convention. Have you seen Sex and the City?
I've seen some of it, yes.
Okay, cool. So like, you understand the show, but you wouldn't say you're a fan, and therefore it's like, oh yeah, oh there's Carrie. Like the excitement wouldn't obviously be palpable, so she was you know, not that. But also that's fair. But for what happened, it was good.
Very nice, very nice. So, guys, I just want to put this out there to start with. This is part 1. Part 2 will be on Friday. So today we're covering like early era bridges, and there won't be in any particular order. But will we miss some? Maybe, but maybe you guys can mention ones we missed or whatever. But you know, you guys are important in these lives with the ranking because you guys super chats have power here. For a $5 super chat, if you don't agree with a selection, you can move it up or down a tier. You know the rules. And if you want to move it further than that, bigger super chat, obviously. And then we have a community ranking at the end, which is all the input from you guys during the course of the live. And at the end, we change it to the way we think it should be, based on context. So
It is king, as they say.
that's what they've said. You said it earlier in this live, actually.
And Stuart, do you want to pimp out our weekend plans? Well, we have some.
I have a thing on Saturday. Sunday, I think we're doing a drunk yards at some point. Yeah, there's no official like. This is as official as it gets. Our discussion about it. So
That's as
I
far,
guess
as,
we're
far
doing
as
it
we've got. Yeah, that's why my only weekend in like 5 weekends. So, way. But of course, UK isn't currently an hour behind. Well, now you're an hour forward. Really, we haven't changed. You've changed.
Yeah.
So
And you set yours forward next week, this upcoming weekend, right?
Easter Sunday, but it's the weekend after,
Oh, good God.
I believe. Yeah,
Nice.
we love the train. But that's okay. But do tune in for that, and all UK people will be less tired because it'll be earlier in the day. And for you, no different.
Right?
Easy for you.
Yeah.
That's our little vamp. Let me start sharing.
37 people here, which is awesome, guys. Hit that like button. We have 28 likes now. I'd like to get up to 50 soon, if possible. So hit the like button. Help us out in that regard. Don't forget to hit the like button. Sorry. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're not already subscribed, or if you were subscribed and now you're not for some reason because YouTube, hit it anyway. Make sure you're subscribed. Click the notification bell icon to do all the things. Be sure to super chat during the live to put in your thoughts on a particular bridge, perhaps, or if you do disagree with the decision we've made, you can change it, like I said. So super chats do have power here, and we love hearing from you guys, and it does support the channel, so we appreciate that. Also, don't forget there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Check those out. Some cool Trekyards merch for yourself. Yeah, remember that you can also join the channel. There's a join button down there. Join the fleet. Join the channel. You can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards to do the exact same thing, should you want to use Patreon instead. So lots of ways to help us and support us and be welcome on our bridge, as it were. I mean, you're all welcome on our bridge, but only those that have joined the channel can sit at the consoles. That's just the way it goes. Anyway. Hey, you guys. Hey, Matthew.
All right. Now, how do you feel about bridges these days? How impassioned are you about the bridges of Star Trek?
I don't know if I'm impassioned about them. Some I just like. I don't know. I know they mean more for you, particularly because of your fan films and stuff, but yeah. There's certain ones I'd really like to have as a captain, I can say that.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things that it's very satisfying to get a bridge built by my 3D modeling team and then be able to then texture it and work out what they did right, what they did wrong. You know, look at little cubby holes like, oh wow, that detail. Where the hell the lights are, how they trick them, you know, all those little things. Well, then when you start doing that a few times, you start to see what they've kit bashed. You know, you start to have that little spark of, oh, they've stolen that from this set. That doesn't make any sense, but it actually works in context. So it's certainly a satisfying thing. I think that for the most part, Star Trek you associate with a bridge. It's a bridge show with some other sets for most of the time, and so every time we get a bridge set built, it feels like an achievement. Wow, I've got a new bridge, you know. And then you get to like the Rathacon style, like, oh no, there's like the same rough set, but there's like 8 iterations. God damn, and everyone's different, but the same. We've yet to tackle those yet, but they'll be a hassle. A lovely hassle, but a hassle.
This is like main bridges, more or less, and different seasons. Things change. And so we're going to be looking at that kind of stuff.
For the most part, I was able to grab the images from the old fact files. Next Scientifica, there you go. Tremendous, really, really good ways. Of course, we've got other bridges since. I want to kind of stick to good artistry of bridges as much as possible. Like, for our part 2, I didn't include the Jeanne Hay Bridge because, you know what I mean? It's a back wall of Discovery and a CG front blank space. Like, it's not worth including F, you know, plus no good visuals. So it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of that. So if you guys have bridges you want us to throw in, do let us know. But for the most part, yeah, especially when we get classic bridges, there's great visuals. And we are going to do each variation. So even if there's a small change or a carpet change, the fact is, a lot of this stuff feels so incredibly similar to other iterations, and yet something can spark, oh, that makes it work just better. That happens all the time. So this, I think, is a very fair thing to be ranking. And yeah, super chat, thoughts, comments, questions. And hi, Stephen.
All right. On that note, like I said, I'm reiterating because more people have come in now. 54 people. Hit that like button, and this is part 1. Part 2 will be on Friday. So if we don't get to a bridge that's a later era, don't worry, it'll be next time. Which is what, Friday. So anyway, let's, I guess, get into it.
Pick a bridge.
Now,
Not in order, so just random bridges.
oh, they're not in any kind of order, no. This one's particularly interesting for multiple reasons, and yeah, and it's kind of relevant. Oh, there's a poll. Favorite bridge: Enterprise 1701 Classic or the Enterprise 1701D?
The series version, because people are going to bitch if I don't specify.
Yes.
Let's start with the heavy hitters, right? What we associate bridges being.
Well, that is not the one that I'm pulling in then.
Excellent.
Boom, baby.
Oh gosh, starting with her then.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I mean, it's forefront on our minds because April 4th, it's back, and relatively probably unchanged. Anyway, so Discovery Bridge, supposed to be a pre-TOS era.
Also, well done taking the bullet as well. I commend you, sir. You bullet took. Thank you, sir.
Yes, no problem. This is actually not a bad bridge overall. Just it does not fit the era at even remotely. Anything about it. They have like see-through displays. They've got really nice aesthetic design and not functionality. It's more of a look at what we can do with modern technology to build a really cool bridge. If this had been post Nemesis, I would have been like, that's pretty damn cool. Maybe change some of the display readings or whatever to be more LCARS like. But honestly, this is a basketball court. It's huge, and I don't know why they decided to install flamethrowers. I mean, that's an interesting choice. Yeah. But just a lot of the shapes in here are very evocative. I can't even say the words. They just remind me of more advanced tech, more TNG and later era designs, and not TOS. And so for me, this is an all right bridge if you take it out of context. You place it in the context that they're presenting it at, and it just, well, everything about the show was that, unfortunately, just doesn't quite work. So, but it's nice colors and stuff. So,
yeah, and this is one we did get built. And I did spend a good I spent a good chunk of time texturing, and that was a challenge because you realise subtle things about it when you texture it. Like there's actually several tones in the floor metal, and there's different copper reflective blah blah blah. So it grew on me a little bit, but only in a raw design frame, right?
Yeah.
As a pure design, so it is an absolute testimony to wasted space. I mean, especially when you look at the front two consoles, there's a giant amount of space between them anyway. It's very unnecessary. But the consoles themselves, they are functional and they just continue and go into the floor. Like over half the console is just hull for the console. So you're wasting all that space where you could just taper in and be down and boom, you're done. Obviously you can see the amount of empty space on the sides. It's just Matt Jeffries would be turning in his proverbial space coffin, his torpedo, because it has nothing in terms of form for its function in that regards. That said, the way it's lit is nice. I like the paneling. I like the colours when I compare them to what the Enterprise Discovery variant did, with its black horrible floors and the lights in people's faces. This is actually a better balanced metallic bridge than what they did for that. The floor is a nice muted kind of like it's a metal, but it's still a matte. It works a lot better. And it kind of forgives the top being shiny because it kind of adds more light, which makes it feel brighter. So there is logic behind the colour palette, even if it's not very Trekian. I certainly wouldn't say it was TNG. This is not even Nemesis. It's like some weird offshoot of, it's just too angular and yet organic. But it's just, I would love to see it redesigned entirely, but cut the space down. Like, say, you can only be as big as Enterprise E-Bridge. Like, those are the dimensions you have. Redesign everything exactly where it should be, in contrast, but to a correct scale of bridge. Then I'd love to see it. It's okay, it's flawed beyond belief, but it looks decent when you forget when, where, and who it's from, and then it just annoys you beyond belief.
Yeah, I was going to just say, like, if it was in the future, post Nemesis, would it bother you as much, or would it be like, oh, that's pretty cool?
Well, if it was like a giant either fleet control ship or giant cargo ship, both would allow for a larger space, then yes, I would be more inclined, obviously LCARS, etc. Then it'd be like, oh, that's weird. but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be generous, Stuart, and say this gets a flat C. So I really don't hate it from a design perspective.
Yeah.
And I want to talk design today, not personal opinion of like, design, happy C.
Yeah, I was kind of right in the line between D and C, but like you kind of convinced me to do a C. And look, Sylvia's here. Hi, Captain. Hello, Admiral.
Hello.
Welcome. Yeah, we'll throw it in C for now. And again, it could get bumped based on context, as always is the case.
And I just like the Discovery exterior is something, and then the refit massively improves it. Massively improves it. If this had been actually refitted to be future, I would love to have seen what they've done that. Just the same logical redress would have been. Oh well.
Devo says if this was Bridge of the Inquiry class, well, yeah, that would have been cool. Like a next design iteration.
Yeah, like it wasn't already. And it fit perfectly well. That's the annoying thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you
uh-huh. All right. What is next? Okay. These you'll probably have to help me out with some of them because I'm not sure.
Exciting. Okay.
I'm sure this is the Enterprise motion picture.
Yes, no. Yes.
Well, it's got the maroons, so
no.
Should start 2.
That's the con then, yeah.
Yeah. Ray Rex, 5 pounds.
Ray.
Discovery Bridge D. It's overly large, dark, and for some reason nothing was updated going into the future. All right.
The thing is, you say it's dark, but we've seen truly dark bridges with Picard. This seems bloody bright in comparison.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like again, contrast. It's not a dark bridge. It's a not light bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, the annoying thing. That does not like it's the Enterprise refit bridge. Looking, I'm scrolling through my notes on it.
I don't think it is either because of the stuff behind the captain's chair. Is it the Reliant?
Yes, Reliant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Reliant Bridge.
The chairs are the wrong color for the Reliant. Aren't the chairs pink in the Reliant?
No, that's Grissom. I believe. So the Reliant, of course, is a redress of the Wrath of Khan Enterprise A or refit bridge with different material on the seats. And I do think that's the only thing they really changed. I think it might be like little paneling on the back, those little right gribs on the right of the turbolift, but they are meant to be the same ship-ish in the context of the movie. They're not meant to be like, wow, the Grissom kind of has a different vibe. So I mean, obviously this is just like the slight variant. It's a nice bridge overall, obviously. It does not. I think it's that weird transition phase of having displays that have some life behind them, and then oddly blocky. We found some styrofoam packaging. Let's paint a nib of it green and put on the wall. Wow, I've got a greebly. It's got both, and they don't quite connect. That's why I think we both like Star Trek 4 35-second bridge, because it has the sleekness of what they're trying to go for with the displays. This still has both generations, which isn't obviously a problem. It just it brings it down into that older style a bit more than it could have with how beautiful the displays are. Your thoughts, Reliant Bridge?
Well, I'm a big fan of the motion picture era stuff, especially the displays. This one, though, I mean, it's a good redress of the Enterprise bridge to make it different enough. Like I said, adding that additional detail behind the captain's chair and moving it down to one turbo lift was a nice idea to make it feel different. And we don't see a lot of the Reliant Bridge necessarily, but we see it damaged. So that's the thing. So I don't know. I think it was a good choice as far as a redesign and a redress went, though. I think they did a really good job, and it makes it feel cohesive as a fleet yet different, which is perfectly fine for the context of different ship designs, different classes, and gotta love the chairs. Like the captain's chair with the arm bars that go down to kind of lock him in. He's got a seatbelt. No one else does. But one thing they did wrong in the Reliant Bridge, they didn't make the override big enough. The override. Where's the override? He couldn't find it. That's a flaw. I'm just saying. So, no, I like the Reliant Bridge. Anything that era is kind of in my wheelhouse as far as getting my attention. And I like the way that they did the redress. So top marks all around, I think.
The only thing that I'll say about this in particular is that when you compare to the better bridges of the same eras, this doesn't quite the same way. It's more of a contrast thing. It's nice, it's good. But throwing Star Trek 6 is like, oh, you know, like they can be better. I love the displays. It scares me to rebuild them because they're so creative, and it's the refit, but just that era of just the little honeycomb. It's really nice, creative, good-looking things. I want to give this a gentle B because it doesn't wow me, but it's a very solid bridge. There are better ones.
Yep, I'm totally on board with the B.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Guys, do check your thoughts, comments, questions. We love the interaction. And vote in the poll. Vote in the poll.
All right. Let's just grab a random one. There you go. Cage.
There goes to it.
This is the original, the OG, literally. I really like the Cage bridge. I like the muted colors. I like the black consoles. I like the additional displays above engineering, the two small ones and the larger one. I think that layout looks really nice. The thing I don't like is the gooseneck display monitors. It's kind of a neat feature, but it definitely dates it to the 60s era. And so does the chairs somewhat. The chairs are just like plastic chairs. They didn't add any extra things to them. Exactly, yeah. But I do like the darker colors and the color tone of this. I do also like the pops of the TOS one as well. But for some reason, this one feels more practical to what a bridge would look like, I would think, because they didn't go extravagant with the color palette. And the monitors are very cool as well. Like I said, the displays look nice, and it's just overall, it feels really nice. The one thing I don't like about this bridge, though, is the view screen. The view screen is very reduced in size, and it's got the curved corners, or the rounded corners, and it just doesn't quite work. I'm glad they updated it for TOS and made it bigger and more rectangular. But yeah, I do like this one, and I wish we could have seen more of it. So
yeah, for me, it feels like the military equivalent of TOS. The TOS is we're going out to explore, we're doing fun, bold things. This is we're coming out of a military phase.
Yeah,
we're business. We're doing our job. It's more of a submarine. It's more NX in regards, and then TOS brings it all the way into the future, as it were. Future. Obviously, it's very, very similar. It's about the subtleties. I don't mind the different banister colour. The other monitors are cool, certainly. It does seem odd to reduce monitor amounts, of course. The chairs are lo-fi, of course. And the little personal monitors, the gooseneck as you call them, there's something there to personal screens. I could see some, not necessarily that exact design, of course, but something... There's something there, but they stand out as a light fixture. As that's what they literally were, but, you know, I certainly had lights that looked like that when I was, you know, in my teens, staying at my grandma's house, as in that many generations back of, like, just lights. And it's like that, they're not, you know, but they, but it's good. It's plainer, but it's more militaristic. And I think if you're doing a TOS now, or if to do it to make it more serious, is just mute the color scheme to this, and then you've got a war movie. And obviously really relying on the pop of the uniforms of any sort of color per se. Although this I think would also benefit from the muted colors that you like of the lighting. Have it be dark, because then the L colors would pop even more. But you're not looking for color in a black and white set. You're looking for the actors, I suppose. Pops versus the color. So I think it's work well as black and white kind of, which obviously it's meant for.
Yeah. All right, for this ranking, oh my goodness. Personally, I do like it, but it's also a nice. It seems smaller compared to a lot of the other ones. I don't think it necessarily was smaller than the TOS one, though. It's just the TOS one redone.
Given we both bid on the TOS set, we know it is not small.
Yeah.
It is a good size. You can get everywhere, talk to everybody, look at everything. It's exactly the size you want for that sort of structure.
I feel personally like I want to give it a B.
Okay. Are you on the precipice of an A, or are you reasonably confident in B?
I'm very confident B, but I mean, I could be talked up to an A minus, but I don't know. There's just, I think the TOS one is an advancement, and for a few reasons. My personal biases aside about what I like about this, I feel like a solid B for sure. I don't think.
Well,
it
that's the
deserves
question.
any lower.
Where does the TOS go? Because this is a slight step below.
Yeah.
Overall, but I would be convincible that it should be a low A. A B is very confident, I would agree, but it's so similar to TOS, and TOS is such a solid design, and we've lived it, we've been on it, we know how useful the room is, and if it actually made out of metal and didn't squeak, it'd be even more believable. What do you guys think? I think one of our few times we're asking, should it be up to an A? So check your thoughts, comments, and questions on that.
You said metal that didn't squeak. The problem I had was that the floors are made of wood, and you can tell they're made of wood because of the way they creak. I made the comment, remember? It's a starship, not a sailing ship. Shouldn't be creaking in the floorboards.
Well, that's what I mean, like if it had been metal, not.
Yeah.
Guys, super chat. Where do you want to put it?
Yeah, should this go as an low, like an A minus or a B? Let us know.
Yes. Have your say.
We got an A, a C, a B, a B, a C, a C, and a C.
Because it's basically TOS, but it's not though, vibe-wise. You know.
Utopia Planitia Shipyards, who are in the know about starships, they say it's a B. So Ozzy's voting B as well. One super chat can clinch it. We'll give it a minute here or two, and then we'll take the average. Oh my God, William J is here. The console lamps bring it down a bit, so a B. Yeah. Ray Ricks, 5 pounds, B, perfect.
There we go.
And William J is here. Oh my goodness, this man. We had a conversation earlier today.
Excellent.
I don't believe you, sir. Anyway, moving on. What is next?
All right, where are we going?
Let's see. We'll just grab this one. This is... Oh, TOS.
There we go.
It was behind everything else. I just grabbed the corner of it.
I mean, isn't that goddamn beautiful?
Yeah, it is.
Something about the red. The red just pops everything. What a genius way to accent everything.
Yeah.
Sexy, Stuart. It's sexy.
I think you're first on this one.
Damn sexy. Oh, I was. That was my
okay.
spiel. Damn sexy, Stuart. It's just.
It is.
It's so pretty.
And carpeted flooring. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Even something as simple as like the way the steps are. I like the steps. I like how they are. The view screen's great. The turbo shaft's great. Yes, the top monitors could be the entire length of the wall piece, but there is something nice about the way it has layers in. Everything's got, as someone who's textured of this bridge, how many colors there are to try and match that. It's fun. It adds depth of color. Where if it just had screens, it'd look like wall-to-wall screens. So I get the logic, even if nowadays you make wall-to-wall screens. I don't say I'm the biggest fan of having the. So there's obviously got each person has their own console layout, which is a curve, which is tremendous. But then you got just space of matte black plastic wood paint between every console, which feels somewhat wasted. I would have made that something else in between to kind of give. I know it all flows in well, but it feels like there's way loads of empty space that is redundant. Even though it is not redundant because it's but in between space doesn't need flashing lights. But there's something about that that's not ever connected with me fully.
Yeah, I think it was just to focus on that kind of minimal controls needed to operate this enormous, gigantic ship, right? I do like the ergonomic layout of the panels, how they curve around the person.
Such a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, for some people, it looks a little odd, but then you sit there and everything's within reach and it's all curved. You don't have to be reaching over. Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
chosen.
And speaking of those swivel chairs, they're really nicely designed as well. Good look.
And they are quite comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're meant to like lean back on them, but you know. And the captain's chair, tremendously comfortable, very, very, very satisfying to swivel and look around the bridge. Like it's on a good replica, it's somewhat effortless. You can see everything. Everything feels close, but not too close. It's a really smart design. And I love Andrew's bridge to bits, but it's not the same smart as this is. This is probably the only one of all the bridges that is truly a smart bridge.
Well, speaking of Andrew's bridge, which is the Enterprise D, for anybody who doesn't know.
In part 2.
All of the information for the Enterprise D is behind the captain. This one is designed where the captain's in a swivel chair and everything, all those monitors with 2 steps up are at eye level. So we can see everything that's going on in the bridge just with a swivel of his chair. So it's a brilliantly thought out design.
The D, the Enterprise D, he's using his crew. Kirk, he can just do, he can see, he can work. It's more immediate because you're kind of wartime or etc. And I think this is a clear S just because it's such a good design, and to stand on one was tremendous, and it still stands up beautifully. Of course, if you redesign it, you'd curve some angles, make it a bit less angular, because a testament to future is sleek is curves, because curves are hard to make, and curves are easier on the hand. That's just a testament to I got a bottle opener. Why is it curved? Because it looks nicer, right?
Yep.
Easy.
And Ray Ricks agrees with a £5 super chat for an S tier. So, Utopia Planitia Shipyards, $2. Are we doing Connie Defiant with the smooth, with hold smooth bridge?
I think that'd also be an S. I think we just all TS and S. It does look better, but the angular one also looks good. There's a depth to that as well. Both an S. Tremendous. Well done, Matt.
S.
Mr. Matt Jeffries.
For a superstar. All right. So this one is. This is Star. Is this the motion picture? No, this is Star Trek 2. I think.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's got different greebles on the back wall. I was right. It's a slightly different arrangement.
Yeah. Yeah, because the motion picture had the science station right behind the captain. This one has it off to where Spock was for TOS. Again, this is beautiful. I mean, the motion picture bridge was great to see. It was like an amazing design, but I like the tweaks that they made to this one. A little bit darker colors, and a little like moving the science station. I think is a big deal. And it's not. There's nothing that doesn't have a purpose. That's the thing I really like about this bridge. There is a bridge operations manual that was done by Rick Sternbach, and I can't remember the other guy, but every button on that bridge has a purpose and a function. It's so thought out and so planned that the actors could know exactly what each button did, and same with the displays. There's nothing is wasted in this space, I don't think. And the addition of the 2 turbo lifts from TOS was a huge deal in my opinion. Looks a lot better aesthetically and is also just more functional and practical. And again, the captain's chair with the fold down clicky arms with the controls on them, but you can put them up as well. It's kind of be like an armchair. Nice touch.
Yeah, this I like it better than Reliant just because of the L cards, but there's something a slight disconnect of this compared to TOS is that TOS is all one bridge. This, you've got the central bit, then you've got a lot more space, feels bigger, then you've got some pillars or some beams as handrails, then you've got consoles attached to a wall with space in between. And it's all very segmented, and there's just space. It's far more piecemeal. TOS is just beautiful and sleek. This is just far more. Here's a piece. Now, obviously, you can then, in theory, pull a console out, put a new one in. I get that, but it has a more of a Lego feel, more abstract feel. It's not a. Now, obviously, you only see that in this silly long shot extrapolation. In the movie, you don't notice that really, but it's not integrated and organic and sleek. It's maybe brutally functional. Yeah,
it's more militaristic again. I think they kind of went away from the TOS more exploring vibe to more military.
But it like having nothing in the bottom of the wall just looks weird. Like a lack of stuff is odd. You could put something there. And I don't love the consoles. Something about them doesn't... Like, they're just not as nice as TOS to me. In the overall design of it, right? LCOS are better, displays are better. And if you like zoom into Spock Station, goddamn gorgeous. But it's more... There's pieces they've put together. There's not a cohesive thing. And I don't love the chairs either. Although I do love, in TMP, the guy... Headrest! Up and down!
Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like they were kind of... Not guessing, but they were just throwing stuff at the wall. And it took multiple iterations to make a cohesive feel. Now, it gives it a unique feel, of course, which is awesome. And it's great in the movie, but I don't think in wide shots it looks particularly amazing.
Yeah, I'd say an A for this one. I think it's great, and it's one of my favorites. It's very practical and functional, but not quite as nice as the TOS, in my opinion.
And it seems bigger, which is, I guess, good to walk around it, but it seems like less neededly bigger.
And also clanky. It has the metal floors, the grating. So they got rid of the carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it a low A because in close-ups, incredible. In wides, it's worse. But obviously, you're not shooting mostly in wides, right? So
yeah,
you can make it look amazing, or you can make it look not very good, a la TMP, which is not.
Which I'm pretty sure TMP is on this list somewhere. All right.
And yes, no, I agree. The handrail behind the captain does feel out of place.
A little bit, except for when McCoy leans on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you disagree, guys, move it.
Okay. Who goes first on this one? You do.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, babe. Discovery Enterprise, where, as Kurtzman said, let's have a corridor around the bridge. Why?
Yeah.
Shut up. What does it do? Absolutely nothing, and it makes every single corridor standing, and you see the edge of it, which makes them feel less advanced now because they're just clean monitors in bits of wood. Horrible. It looks horrible. It's reflective, it's dark, it's broody, it's flary, and that's obviously there's the camera choice, but the orange handrails, didn't even bother ADRing Michelle Yeoh. They're red, girl, they're red. Like that's a lack.
She's got near universe eyes. They're sensitive to light, and they just misread red, so it's fine.
It's just ugly. Even though it is the TOS bridge, it is ugly. The blue doesn't look nice. The uniforms obviously don't work with it very well. Certainly blue uniforms would look horrible in this. Blue on blue on black on black on blue and blue and black on black. Awful.
Well, yeah, you can see Pike in the captain's chair with the blue uniform.
Just about. Or you can really not see him because he blends in. What the fuck is that top thing? I don't know. It's just horrible.
Everything you just said. The corridor edition is just incredibly stupid. Thank you, Alex Kurtzman. The reflective floors really just make visual clutter for everything around. It's hard to focus on anything. Can't see anything because it's so dark. Put a goddamn carpet down. I think it would improve it quite a bit.
And don't paint so much black.
Yeah.
Or very dark. Just fine because TOS is a lot of black, but it doesn't feel like black.
And don't pander to the TOS fans by putting those blinky lights just all on the top, the same goddamn pattern. That's what the TOS one had, so we're going to include them. What? And why?
And up there, where you don't see them normally.
Because they're not important for anything. It's just for aesthetics. So, like, look, we know what TOS is.
And remember, there are blinking lights in the pillars that flash.
Yes, at eye level.
At eye level. Now, when you get into actual corridor, the console itself, and then you have the wraparound thing with the light blaring onto the console, 'cause it's so damn dark, you'll see the thing by having light. They're actually decent little consoles. If you macro in to one zone of it, it's decent. I do quite like the door.
Yeah.
But as the wide, ugh.
Well, let's be thankful that Strange New Worlds learned from this. And
indeed.
We'll get there and when we get there.
And we felt blessed to have this shit compared to Discovery, right?
Yeah. Alna Ines, member for 6 months, the rank of Admiral. That is Ozzy's mom. More time for Japanese food with blood wine and Canada hot dogs and cookies. Jeez.
There's a buffet.
Okay, I'd be willing to put this one. I'm tempted to put it as an F, but it's going to be an F. Yeah.
I think the corridor alone.
Yep.
Yeah, like it doesn't fit anything. Like, yes, this is the first F because of active choices to make the set worse versus making it better. Is odd.
Yep. I was trying to give people some hope that it might not be an F there for a second.
Oi. 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 Oi.
Oi is right. All right, Joshua Dworkin, member for 12 months at the rank of lieutenant.
Thank you so much.
You know, the ironic thing is that the massive amounts of spotlights on the bridge would make it really hard to actually see what's on your screen. Yeah. Flashing at eye level.
The thing is, you say that, I agree in the general concept, but if you've been trained to work on the ship, and you're living on it every single day, and every corridor is dark, your halls are dark, mess hall's dark, you would get so used to it, you wouldn't even think about it.
It's true.
Right? It's like dustbin men get used to the smell of anything. You just get used to it. Even though any of us, people or submarines, your eyes adjust to the fact that there's very little light. Like, you just get used to it because that's the job. So it's stupid, but your brain would eventually cycle out to the fact there's a blinking light. You'd eventually not see it.
Yeah.
But just don't put it in the first.
Doesn't excuse it though.
I did, Sean. I did. Terrible corridor. Terrible.
All right. Next up is
Hope it's something good.
the Excelsior.
Yes. So you, damn.
Okay, the Star Trek 6 aesthetic is beautiful to begin with. I love the big MSD behind him, although I can see issues with that if it actually displays information instead of just being a call-out sheet, because that's all it is. If it displayed information, it could be kind of important to not have that behind the captain. But regardless, I like the color of the seats, especially his captain's chair, and the comfiness that it looks. Plus, he's got his little table in front of him for his tea. It's a nice touch. But yeah, it's a nice bridge, and it's not as nice as the Enterprise's bridge, but he's on like a throne up there as well, with those like 3 steps going up, but it's still on the same level as everybody in the top level. It's kind of an interesting layout. And I got to admit, the new chairs are a funky design, so I do like those. But it's missing something, I think, in my looking at this in particular. Like some kind of situation table or holographic table at the back there would be kind of interesting. Not necessary, but it would just kind of do something in that space. So yeah, that's my take.
Oh, we have a super chat that will lead to one layer up depending on whatever we say. So
Utopia Planitia Shipyards, $5. Excelsior S tier, love it. And the tea table.
So whatever we say, it goes 1 up at least. Yeah, Excelsior. I have textured one of these, and it was fun. It was a fun challenge to kind of see what was. I know my modeler. So 2 modelers that built it. We all handed because they couldn't finish it in time, or they had to do something else. And the second modeler didn't do the chairs right at all, not realizing how funky they are. So I didn't realize until you looked at it, like, oh my god, what is the bottom of these chairs? What the hell? But of course, you build one chair, you build the entire set, so it was quite effective. And then the way there's like because on several of the shuttles, there's a padding on the edge of the console for, like, I guess a handrest, and they have this in this, but only in certain consoles, and he didn't include them. I was like, no, so you start seeing stuff that you miss. I really like this bridge. It has that modernistic movie feel that they finally got while being very simplistic. The L cards, of course, make it feel big and bold yet simple. It doesn't feel like a redress of the A, which is nice. It had its own identity. Different color palette, different chairs, etc. I do like the fact there's like weirdly a corridor hub at the back with 2 doors. So people is obviously a other deck, but other room behind it, and people go in and out. That's fine. It adds a bit more functionality to it. I really like the light pillars. I like the cutout pillars, the negative space. For some reason, it kind of vibes with me. I don't know why. The tea table is silly, but I assume it's also a holographic table. I would have to assume.
Or it retracts in.
Yeah. I assume it does a bit more than holds his tea. That said, of course, Captain's prerogative. If he says, give me a little table, you make a table, right? No problem. It's a great gimmick. I also really like the. I don't know if you see. There's a little light pillar at the very front of the pillars.
Yeah.
It's only there.
It's nice, warm, soft, ambient light to light the entire bridge. It's fine.
Yeah, and the view screen's tremendous. So this one I've always liked a lot, but it's also a really good scene. I'm tempted to give this an S anyway, just because I think it's a really nice, just not kit bash, yet actually kit bash bridge that's sleek and yeah.
It looks comfortable, yet still utilitarian. And actually, Hypnomer makes a good point that each of the stations feels like a cubicle, like a cheap office cubicle a little bit, which is kind of disheartening. but
also it means that you're not being distracted by anyone else's work.
Yeah.
But that doesn't detract from me.
No, not either.
I had another comment as well. Oh, and I think I'm pretty sure, we'll get there if we get there, I'm pretty sure the banisters are actually a different shape to the A. And these are reused a lot on different bridges, this design. But yeah, I want to give it a solid S. Maybe not the highest of S, but I really like this bridge, and it was fun to work on it. And I hope to use it more. I have a scene with it. And if I was given some digi-doubles of some Wrath of Khan actors, which I hope I saw the files for, because I don't know if I saved them properly. And eventually I'm going to do a shot where Nick is on one of these bridges in, not necessarily the past, but a Wrath of Khan scene-ish. So it'll be fun to see like this filled with Wrath of Khan people. Will be very satisfying, I think. So I look forward to that, because there's an Excelsior in the story, so. Oh, Ryan! Huh! And I will say, yes, the Voyager version is much, much cheaper. You think it's the same until you do side by side. It's like, oh, they cheaped on this. A lot of things. Because it's a fresh build. And it was a cheaper build. Like the captain's chair is much shittier looking. Much shittier looking. But it's okay. Still work well.
Cool. All right.
Ooh. An XO2 Columbia / the season 4 final episode post-Roman War refit with the light beams.
And you're first this time.
Damn it.
Last time.
What are you doing having flashing lights at the back of the bridge? I know they're meant to be computer call feeds, but also go away, that's silly. One of the things that breaks people, I think, and tell me if you remember this, Stuart, or not. This is actually the Defiance set.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I did not know that. Yep. Makes sense, though.
Yep. When they cut DS9 Enterprise, they just gutted it. It's the exact same dimension. So if you have one blueprint, you have the other blueprint, and it's just reproportioned a bit. And obviously the back's changed more than not, but it's the exact same. Everything pretty much, and it's amazing because it feels familiar and yet it's so different. I commend them for being so different. It's busy but not integrated, but not. It is a weird bridge. I like it. I don't like this one as much, but I think it's only because this does not properly represent the season 3 / early 4. Where they included, or at least 4, when they included the TOS colours in the LCARs. That I thought was a nice addition. There's blue, there's orange and reds into the colour palette. I think it was a great choice. But this is obviously beams. That's the big difference. The beams are much worse and much more stupid. And having that random, as you can see, near the Travis's station, there's a little standing console with one screen that you just walk around and look at. And in the finale, they just did that. And it's like, why is there a console right here in the middle of the room? So they added shit and made it worse.
They wanted to make it different. That's the problem.
Yes, they did. And only spend $45 in half an hour.
Yeah. I agree with William J. So the light columns are cool at first, but the more you think about it, the more you question their existence. Yeah. Yeah, it's to add something different visually that you can differentiate it from the main Enterprise.
And there is a bit where they do speed up at warp, so there's a sense of tension and build of pace. Now I wouldn't mind if they were like either side of the turbolift or proper like in corners.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So they weren't an eyesore, but they were adding interactive light. I don't know. What's your take on the NX bridge in general, and this variant in particular?
Well, we'll get to the NX-01 bridge when we get to it.
Yep.
First of all, I'll answer that later. But this one, no, it's redressing for the sake of differentiating.
That's a good way of saying it. Yep.
And unfortunately, it's a little overdone. They could have done it much more subtly and better, but those lights are a little bit kind of in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest fan of that choice. But other than that, there are subtle other little changes to consoles, and I think not displays necessarily, but there are subtle changes to the Enterprise which are a nice touch, and they don't scream, "Look at me, I'm different," like those lights do. So the lights are a real detractor for me on this one.
Yeah, the addition is the detraction.
Yeah. Which is their intent.
Which is, yeah.
It's just not a...
Things,
could have been better orchestrated.
Even though I like a lot of the very sub-elements of the NX-01 bridge, overall, it's not anywhere near my favourite. I don't quite know why.
It's a bit too modern military and submarine-like. It's literally...
I don't even know if that's it for me. Just something about it. Honestly, my gut reaction's a low C, and I can be negotiated down to a D for the pillars.
I was thinking D, so...
Okay, what do you guys think? Because I think we'll give people a quick, shout out. $5 to let us know where you want it. Do the light pillars actually annoy you that much, or are we overstating the pillars of doom? Or are they going to spell doom for this set?
Well, we've got 2 D votes in the regular chat, so if anybody wants to clinch it, if this is one of your favorite bridges, let us know.
Or yes, you're right. Or you can I can raise it. I just don't know why it just doesn't. I'm sure it's many people's favorite bridge because it's one they grew up with, etc. There's some vibe there, but and I might like it differently if I had one proper one, but
yeah, we're getting a ton of D's. Just saying.
That said, I wonder if you TOS'd it even further and actually added, for example, some red highlighting, how much that might improve it.
Well, you'd have to get rid of that blue carpet if you're adding red highlighting, I think.
Sure.
That's a problem.
What do you think? Banisters will maybe simplify down to a TOS style, gone red.
I think you could make changes that would make it very acceptable, but those light pillars in this one are just too much. You got to tone those down somehow, or have like little...
NX-03.
There you go.
That's the only difference the NX-02 to 3 is the pillars go away.
New York and Vegas says pillars suck unless it's Michael, because Michael Pillar was awesome.
Good save.
So we got a D, 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 C, C, D, C.
You decide. The power is in your hand.
Well, so far the vote is leaning towards D because we can't wait forever if somebody's not going to super chat. So,
oh, indeed. I
forget what you even said. What were you giving it, a low C?
A low C, but negotiable to a D. I absolutely believe D is fair as well. Because it has just flaws that the Discovery one has, but very different and very specific and very avoidable flaws, I should say. By not including the pillar. Yes. Well, let us know, guys, and we'll shift it if need be. But yes, put it at D.
Yep.
I think I've been convinced.
You have been told, sir.
Oh, dear me.
All right, well, we'll just jump right onto this one then.
So that's the NX-01 refit. I don't know. Wait, hold on.
Is that for the final episode?
I thought the pillars as well. Hold on. Again, I try not to look at everything, so I'm, fresh when I do it. Yes, this is the season 4 bridge.
Okay. Ozzy's throws in $5 and says, "Give it a AAA." You can't do that for $5. No way.
But it does go up then to a C, so it puts it back to where it could have been.
You want me to shift it up to a C?
That's what the super chat gives. Yeah, 1 up. Oh,
it goes back to D then.
Day.
Christopher McCooey, €5. F. It started the trend of having pointless lights shining your face for no reason. Well, your super chat and Aussies cancel each other out, so it stays right where it is.
But also, it's not in anyone's face at all.
And it's not overly bright. It's too bright, but it's not overly bright. It's
a flicker, isn't it? It's a bug. Because I know that like Reed would be like there, so you'd see it. But again, that's very far as peripheral, so you'd zoom it out. Okay.
And if it speeds up when you're at different warp speeds, you'd be able to tell what speed you're at without even checking the gauges.
Okay, so for me, this one now, I really only want to throw it in at a C because I'm still unexcited. Again, there are so many nice design things. I like the back table. I like the way the consoles are. They're too big, but it kind of fills the space nicely. And I like the idea that they've got all the information at their fingertips. Even if most of the time they're not doing anything with the consoles, they've got everything ready to then. Even if you are going to be doing this a bit, I actually don't mind that. I kind of like the rails in general, but it isn't my favorite bridge. But I do like the TOS blinkies when they bring them in. Yeah. It's great. I can't go higher than a C though.
Yeah, no, I agree. C is 100% where I was at.
Yeah. But it's just a defiant set, which I love.
I did not know that. I don't know why I didn't know that, but it makes perfect sense now that you've said it.
Yeah, it's so clever, and I'm sure it's saving loads of money because for some reason the walls going up saves you the money.
Well, we're on the topic, so.
Oh, classic. Okay, now do you like this one more or less? They've pulled a lot of the color out. So it's
I like it. I like it more for the first Warp 5 ship. I think it's more of utilitarian. It's built for a purpose. There's not much flashy going on, no like styling or anything. It's to get out there and do its thing. And again, like I said, it's very submarine-like, very military-like. The addition of the literal buy off the shelf monitors is a nice. It's a nice touch actually, and it looks like a good precursor to TOS. So.
Well, it looks good. It looks good as a precursor to the precursor to TOS. It's two steps removed.
Because Discovery comes in between these.
Oh, actually, Shinjo does really because Discovery's newer. Yeah. And Adrian ISFJ 1009 is here. He says the table at the back gives the ship a feel that's meant for battle. But Adrian, we talked about your Excelsior thing with the chairs. Talk about how annoying the chairs were when I came back saying how weird they are. But don't worry, I have no plans to make you do an NX1 bridge anytime soon. Don't worry.
Speaking of chairs, that was leading to my next point. I don't really like Mayweather's chair. That slides side to side to do the different things, right? It's a weird choice. I get it, but I don't get it, if you know what I mean. It's not that big of a console, first of all, and I understand that the one side's piloting and the other side is, I guess, navigation or something. But to have a sliding chair just seems silly to me. It's just something for the sake of having something different.
And it's so funny. I can't remember a single moment in the show, in first or second watch, that he used it.
I've seen him do it like at least twice. Yeah,
but it's so there's not a moment. Same in Paris, it's the same thing. There was also a slide on the Voyagers. But you don't ever see it because he just sort of moves. But
that's a bigger console.
No, it is. But obviously they're pulling from that as a concept. But yeah. I didn't even know there was a slide until I remember seeing on Facebook a picture that Doug shared of Drex Files. There's a slide. It's like, oh.
Yep.
Okay. That's how little it means. I still can't give this higher than a C because it's now losing the colour of Season 4. I do kind of like the simplistic tones as well, but I think losing the TOS colours also is a detractor, so I wanna give it another flat C because I can't do any more.
No, I totally agree with that.
But I do agree with people in the chat. A refit Season 5, if they actually had money to make a actual variant, that could have been super exciting.
Yes.
I'd love to have seen what they could have done, but isn't that always the case with us? What they could have done? And wow, Stuart. Have we ever had such a giant spread? Goodness. That is absolutely across the board.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome.
All right.
Shinjo. Which is actually a different set. Originally we thought it was a redress of Discovery. It's not. And this was the set which they then redressed into the Section 31 ship and others. And it is now the top of... Because it's a two-tier set because they don't see underneath. So it then became the Future Command Center. It's the redress set. So it is a fully different bridge, which is odd. They look so goddamn similar to Discovery, yet not. What are your thoughts, Stuart?
I thought it was an interesting idea to put it at the bottom of the saucer. I thought that was a neat touch with the windows looking down at the planet when they're orbiting. I think that's really nice. Again, not era appropriate in its design. It's way too sleek, way too futuristic, metallic looking. It's, as Hypno Amber said earlier in the chat that I didn't read, but it's a good. Well, I didn't read it out loud. Is what I meant. It's a good reference to our future, but not to what Star Trek has established for that era. I do like the captain's chair, but again, it feels very Klingon, and it's like grandeur, like this is a throne. Were they trying to tip us off that she will in fact be the emperor of the mirror universe? Because it has a throne-like feel to it.
Okay. Okay.
It's also very dark and very angular. It looks like you'd hit your head on those beams if you were running too fast from one station to the next. So there are problems with it. Is it just me, or does it look like those chairs slide as well?
Yeah, I guess. Despite not being very big.
Yeah. It's more open, though, because, like I said, it's got those windows at the front that look down, which is a cool touch. Gives you something kind of cool to look at when you're working in space all that time. So, yeah. And also the captain's chair being raised and being raised above everybody else is an odd touch for Starfleet. Because, like I said, with Sulu, sure, it's 3 steps up from the helm station, but it's on the same level as the same with Kirk's. It's on the same height.
Yes.
Actually, it is the same height. Yeah. So it just seems like an odd choice for Starfleet. I don't know. There you go.
Super chat.
Yes, Jordan Reed, £5. In regards to the NX-02, if they got rid of the pillar beside the helm and the second behind the captain's chair, it would work better. Yes. You're not wrong.
That's what the season 4 was. This is such an odd set. It is so little in the show, and it was so many years ago, and it's never, ever, ever come back in any form. It just, I always autocorrect into Discovery set.
Yeah.
Like a kit bash. It is, because it's both big, but not as big. The pillars are very similar, but also the ceiling is obviously lower. But look, the front consoles are a good size. They're not too far apart. They're well sized, etc. Although I know that the Kelvin captain's chair is basically the exact same chair, which shows poise, because like there's so many details from the Kelvin in this, which there shouldn't be, of course.
Yeah.
It's very thrown like it. That is odd.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's a different universe, so it makes sense. It's the same design aesthetic as the Kelvin.
But it does give an older Discovery feel. So well done them for designing their main set than a slightly more crude version. 'Cause it does feel but it's so freaking dark. The fact there's literal pitch black.
Yeah.
There's corners with literal blackness where dark
could be night shift. Let's be fair.
Yes, but night shift and Voyager it's still bright. Just dark.
They learned their lesson.
Fair. But it just looks both angular and ugly and a mess and yet empty.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It does not give me any feeling really, except
I just want to address a comment here. Josh Harden says, this is where they started the reflective floors and super bright columns. It's also really busy. I don't like the angular beams. Now you say that, but you look at this floor and you go, okay, it's a matte finished metal floor. It's not high gloss like they did with the Enterprise, the Disco Prize. Because that's a high gloss black floor. It looks like it's buffed to like a shine. This at least is a matte finish metal, which I don't mind. Because you look at that and you don't get the visual noise or the visual clutter that you get from a highly reflective floor.
You get some. But metal reflection, not reflection.
Yes, mirror reflection.
Well, yeah, well said.
Yeah.
If it was even more non-reflective, it'd be less noisy. It's not bad, but I will never think of this bridge again after we finish talking about it in this live. It's not inspired, it's not very interesting, and also I know it has these giant pillars at the front because it's on the bottom of the ship, which are kind of ugly and was a big test of the bridge window. It's even less advanced, my goodness.
You say you'll forget about it, and there's nothing inspired, except for the fact that it's on the bottom of the ship, which is a first, and those windows looking... Yes, and those windows looking down. I liked that idea going into Discovery. I thought it was a nice touch, especially when they're orbiting a planet. It's just so cool to see the captain and like an over the up and over the back of the.
Yeah, but
and see the planet
view
down
screen
below.
that bitch.
I know, but still, there's something to be said about seeing it with your eyes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is memorable for that. But
Yes.
that's about it.
But I don't. I okay. I dislike it less than the Discovery Bridge because that is obnoxiously big and wasted space. But it's so much less memorable and interesting that leaves me with the same question of do I like it? So I dislike it less, but I like it in its own way less. I just remember we've moved something briefly. Give me you think we want to put it? Move something briefly.
All right, we have 100 people here, which is awesome, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. We have 69 likes. I'd like to get up to 80 if possible. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Yeah, that's the one thing I really like about this bridge is on the bottom of the ship with that cool view. Other than that, again, for a future era, I think it's way better. But to fit in the timeline where they want to put it, it just doesn't quite work for me. So, yeah, I know exactly where I want to put it, and we'll see what you guys think about that as soon as Sam gets back. I'll tell you now, I'm thinking of putting it at D slot. I do like it better, slightly, than the Disco Prize that we've already looked at with the really highly reflective floors. I think it's a little more functional and a little bit tighter. And as a result, I don't think it's as bad as the Disco Prize. So, and Ray Ricks, £5 D, like most Disco era bridges, yes. And Aussie, $5 D. They never fixed the shuttle bay door. Well, it's not this ship. This ship had a working shuttle bay door. FDDD. D is in that's generous. As I was saying to these fine folks.
So I've got a laundry item.
I don't know.
An hour and a half.
Don't know if you were listening, but
No, sorry.
I like this one slightly better than the Disco Prize, and I want to put it at a D.
Yes, that's where I was. It's like higher D. This is one I'd love to. I think you could very easily carpet TOSify, and the framework is stronger.
Yeah.
The other one, it's just what is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very strange. Very strange.
Lance 737, $2. My favorite bridge is in Highlander.
Actually, that might be a really good. Let us know right now in the chat. Would you like to see a top 10 other sci-fi bridges, or like command centers?
Oh yes, for sure.
Because there's so many tremendous ones, and even if you haven't seen the show, you can appreciate the design.
I think
that's worth doing.
I think we have a problem now, though. Utopia Planitia Shipyards super chats in $5 and says better than Disco, so C tier Shinzo. But we had 2 super chats to put it at D. So how does that work out? Don't think we've had anything in place for that.
Okay, so it would be. Oh, yes, so it has to stay at D because D's the lowest it can go. I feel like it should still go to C because the D's equaled the D and the C equaled up. Yeah, I think that because they came earlier. It's the nature of it's a tier list of.
Okay, fine.
But if someone's bringing back down to a D or an F, like you know, because if someone put in a 10 and got to an A, then it would have been brought down. But yeah.
So only Matthew DeFrieda says no to that question. Everybody else is saying yes, do it. Last super chat wins. I mean, sure. All right, it's a C. All right, what is next, though, for us on this fine journey? Okay.
I'll cover this one, Stuart, because I've analysed this.
Go for it. Go for it.
This is the Janolan bridge set, which of the Sydney class. Now, this is a fun one because you would not know this is the set layout unless you piece through every single frame, you brighten it, as I have done, and then you find this layout. It's a set they built. You remember it from Relics as being little bits. You know, there's a bit where they're in the captain's chair for a second. There's a bit where they're behind the captain's chair at the console. There's a bit where they're beaming. There's a bit where they're repairing. They all factor in as just abstract pieces. You combine them. This. Okay, but it is a it's a cargo. It's a transport
ship. Yeah.
Pretty chill, not sleek. It's what elements of other sets can we pull and add. They have the Star Trek 3 console, with Star Trek 6 console, which is behind the transporter room. That's everything. It's a multi reuse. They've got the original season 1 captain's chair with the broken. It was changed because the things always broke. Little flip out screens. It has the season 1 early, chair, the data chair, the console. So a lot of old pieces in this, which is fine. It's more of a room, but you know what? There's something kind of quirky and quaint having a practical operation center. It's not like you're not doing science, you're not doing tactical. Hopefully, you're doing nothing except operation, and then screw it. Let's add transporter. Let's add the repair bay. Let's just make a command center. You know what? I kind of like it, and it was fun to look at the set from the show. And I say, like, what's a broken bit? What's a real part of the set? It's actually I have some fond memories of deconstructing the set.
It reminds me of the Elios from Picard, where the bridge is basically a large room that kind of is an everything room for a smaller ship. And I love that. I love the Janolan. I love the Sydney class. I think they're fantastic. I like this idea. I get that it's not visually like super great, and as a captain of it, you'd be like, it's not a starship. But that's the whole point. It's not a starship. It's a carrier, and so like a transport. I mean carrier, because that'd be different. Anyway, a transport, and as such, it is not necessarily classified as Starfleet military. It is basically just what it's supposed to do. And I do like the idea of having a room like this that is your command center and not a bridge, essentially. So I do like the layout of this, and I do like the idea behind it. So.
But does it make you excited in any way?
Not really.
No.
But I like the ship it's attached to or built into. But I do like the concept of it, like I said. And again, I like it more than the Strange New Worlds Disco Prize. Or not the Strange New Worlds Disco Prize, sorry. The Discovery Disco Prize. My bad.
I mean, it has to be nothing higher than a C. Right, it's a simple, gentle bridge.
But I was just deciding on C or D.
No, it's a fun little set.
So D then, all right.
No, C, I think, because there's nothing like D. Represents there are problems with it. There's nothing wrong with the set, and I like the fact that it's juxtaposed full of different elements from other sets, Hogs Pod. And I think it'd be a fun little set to have, to walk in on Relics before it's trashed and see like what they put places and like, oh, this is the science cubicle because that's all they have, right? Yeah, I like it.
Cool. All right, next up is the Grissom. Star Trek 3.
Now I don't remember it being this different because I assumed it would just be a kit bash of the other one. So. Yeah. We'll assume this is right, but I don't think it is. But also, it's an official thing when they made it at the time license. But when do license things get it wrong?
This is probably what they wanted to do but couldn't. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, Shea Locomotive Productions, $20 S for Sydney class.
So that's 4 ups. Does it reach an S?
Oh, yes.
Well, Shea, why? Amazing, why?
He's a military guy, I'm sure.
ISF, I feel like you have a like for those two things. But that's in part 2, Adrian, because this is all pre-TNG stuff. At some point you'll Rathacon. At some
Friday.
Point you'll Rathacon. Yes.
Part 2 will be on Friday for the TNG stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take this at red. This is actually what the set is, okay? Let's just... Okay, Grissom. What are your thoughts?
Different looking ship on the outside, different nacelles, different purpose. It's a science vessel.
Maybe look at
I love this.
While you talk.
Yeah, I love this idea of having it be different. You got the science station over there on the other side of the bridge, as opposed to like the Enterprise where it's on the right. This one's on the left, and pink chairs. Nice touch. Nice touch. Captain Esteban. He's got like a pussy of a ship, so but I like it. I like that there's not sit-down stations everywhere. It is a smaller ship designed to do different missions, and as a result, those panels on the wall there are quite interesting. Don't know exactly what they each do or how functional they are, but it's cool. It's a neat departure from the original from the basic Starfleet aesthetic, but then again, so's the outside of the ship. So it's also not a large ship. Now, the problem I have here too is that raised captain's chair looks just silly for some reason. Like it looks like a tripping hazard more than anything else. But yeah, it does what it's supposed to do, and it still feels Starfleet. Still has that aesthetic, but it's not as noisy as the other bridges. I'm done.
They might have actually just stripped up one of the bridges and moved the wall panels, because they're only shooting from one direction, but there's no turbolift in the shaft in the area where that would be on the refit. So they might just have built they might just move wall panels to be and they extrapolated it sort of flip. Because I'm not seeing the refit elements in this. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe they didn't bullshit it. Okay. Huh. I mean, you don't build 360 grids most of the time, so it's perfectly justifiable to say, mirror, it's fine. Huh. I actually quite like how sleek it is, actually.
Sleek. He said it's sleek. He said his catchphrase.
Thanks, man. I should get royalties for myself.
Yeah.
Very sure.
Hypnover says it feels a little empty even for a science ship, but it does have a lab feel. Oh, it absolutely feels like a lab. If there had been a table, that's one thing. A long table along the one side where they could do stuff with all those displays would be interesting. But
so I do like this, actually. It has a certain charm to it. The pure simplicity and smallness. Wall-to-wall consoles. According to this view, turbolift shaft back and front, which is cool. Very minimalist, but a very, very functional little space. In fact, only 2 sitting consoles implies it's always pure on the move. You know, you work your console, and then as a captain, you stand up and you go to the back and you're being shown stuff as in the movie. You know, that actually kind of charming in its own way. Yeah, I actually quite like this.
Yeah, me too. I say a B, honestly.
I would say a B, yeah.
Yeah.
It has a kind of charm, but Adrian would love to make this because it's simpler. Yeah. New York, yeah. I just didn't know they would necessarily put that effort in.
Okay.
Things are on different levels.
Giddy.
Guess this is me then. Oh, yes.
Excelsior. The NX Excelsior.
NX Excelsior. I like it. I don't know why I like it. It's a very minimal set, yet very packed with functional stuff. The turbolift door signs are obnoxious beyond all reason. But it's cool in the film. It's a tremendous half-arse while still being the full arse is sitting on those chairs. And it does kind of feel more advanced Enterprise in a way, going all the way to the displays. It's kind of charming while being a bit shit.
Yeah. It's an interesting bridge, pardon the pun, between TOS and the movie era, because they try to incorporate the multicolored lights from TOS in this, which I think was a weird choice. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. The chairs are overly complicated and clunky with those arms that just come in.
Oh, to hold you in the transwarp chair.
Oh, I know. That's exactly what it's for. It's an experimental ship, after all. This could be just an experimental bridge module designed for getting specific information on field tests, because I don't think this would ever be the final bridge, and it wasn't. So.
And I'm finding, shots of the film. I still love the fact that the lady, the Grissom science officer's twin is on this ship. I
know, I hate that.
Yeah, because she's right in frame. Like, hello, yep. It's like twin. It's such an odd. I love the fact that the chairs have green lights on the bottom going up. What an odd. Yeah. Never noticed it before. Cool detail. It's very, to me, like 2001 / Aliens. Now I say Alien. Now I say that they're both different vibes. But I think in the mother console room of Alien, It's just wall-to-wall consoles. That's the vibe I'm looking at the movie. It's just wall-to-wall black glass with consoles. But yet the 2001 white and black, clean aesthetic, simple. It's just a wall of consoles. Very strange. I mean, it does look futuristic compared to Enterprise. But also under-designed. I would love to have been on to see how much the set was actually built for. So I assume just like a 2/3 of a wall.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think so. Another thing that interests me is the fact that there's no railings. There's no like the helm station isn't lowered down. But I like the idea, since it is an NX, it is an experimental ship. But this is an experimental bridge module, or bridge module designed specifically to get readings from transwarp tests and things like that, as opposed to a standard bridge.
Sure.
I like that, and it's older text. That's why it's got some TOS look to it, because they haven't upgraded to the newer version of it, maybe.
Although it's funny, again, I was looking at screen caps in the film. It's amazing how the consoles, as shown here, are just too big for one actor. They go long into the set, and it's just banks of flashing red, green, blue lights with zero logic or flow behind it. They're just flashing, like it's like having a keyboard with no numpad. But it's like a fifth, 100 keys, and it's like, oh god, and they all have RGB. It's like, oh god, why am I doing only single button? It's very odd.
That being said, I still like it.
So, you know.
Yeah, I still like it though. It's
Adrian.
Every station, every console has to be unlocked with his swagger stick. He inserts it like a key, so nobody has access to the console.
So, oh my god. I'm on the, I think I'm on the C train.
Yeah.
Just because it's underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have been so much better if they'd gone with this and like added stuff to it, like a railing.
I think it needs some hull in between all the different consoles, some silver or red, to accent all the different structures, versus one bank of black consoles, far as the eye can see. Because that doesn't quite work on retro look, but it's in the film, not a lot. It's really cool to see new set, and I commend them for trying. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right, we'll put it at C then, because I agreed with that. Next up is, I believe this is the motion picture, because it's got the science station right behind the captain.
Still Rathacon pictures though. Hold on, let's find out which probably like, yes, this is class of the Enterprise refit bridge. So yes, I guess it is. Yes, okay, they're just using the wrong costumes. That's okay.
Yeah, I believe this is the motion picture one. So, because like I said, science is right behind the captain, right. So that's the big indicator.
Kind of empty feeling.
Kind of, yes. And I remember it being more white. I don't remember the chairs being colored, so maybe this isn't.
I'm
Regardless,
not confident about this picture, Stuart.
Neither am I. But I never did like the idea of the science station behind the captain, because he relies on science station a lot, and especially when, in TOS it's like right there. It's not behind him. He doesn't have to swivel around to talk to Spock. So I never did like that. And again, if you're on the view screen and you're talking to an enemy, they can read all your science displays. Not a huge deal, I guess, but.
Okay, I'm gonna get a screen cap from the film instead. Although it is the walls are yellow, as is represented. And the chairs are, chairs are correct.
So it is the motion picture. Okay.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know why they put Monster Maroon people in it then.
I don't know either.
But regardless, I think this one, I don't like it as much as I like Rathacon. Rathacon was a little bit darker lighting and stuff, and moving that science station I think was big. So I'm willing to put this as a.
It's tricky because I'm looking at the screen cap, right, and it is bright. Bright is nice, and the emptiness, like because the set's so bright, it kind of it feels like wall, whatever. But there's a lack of construction between where some of the console like I'm looking at Hura Station. She's got like a little like a thing up here to stop people from seeing above, which seems weird because you can't see the console fully. The things above her station, it's almost like the medical information, and it's almost all entirely black. And what is that bank of computers, which again is being covered next to it? Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. And Chekhov's tactical station's little cubby hole.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Devo 77X, this isn't the A from Voyage Home? No, absolutely not. No.
It's just not there yet. They're still baking.
Yeah.
I do like the science being right behind Kirk, but that's because we have lots of iconic memories there. I'm going to leave this up to your discretion, Stuart. I will let you... But I don't love it. But I don't not love it.
I say a B.
Okay. A low B, though.
Yeah. All righty.
Yeah, they're playing Asteroids in the motion picture. Yeah.
So the Enterprise B.
Enterprise B. It is not just the Excelsior. Having looked at the Excelsior, it's actually quite a lot different. Of course, it was we're redressing the Enterprise A bridge from in Undiscovered Country, but we can actually do more things to it because we are not necessarily... Well, we're not making the A again, so we can do a bit more. Balances are different and smaller. I like the back two console where Tuvok is a lot. I think that's a really nice addition. It is worth noting that the colours on the floor and the chairs are only there for the press tour. So do not take that as read, as being red. Basically, it's the red carpet, right? So take that out. It's not cruise. Chairs are different, sleek. The wood grain I like. I like a lot about this. It feels more comfortable than the Excelsior and more finished. Yeah. I like it.
Smaller too. It feels smaller. It feels more like roomy, like, cozy. That's what I meant. I don't know. I like the colors. I like the displays. I do like the wood aspects as well. And yeah, that console at the back is very cool. It's a very neat idea. And also the doors, the turbo lifts being at the side of the bridge as opposed to at the back. I assume those doors at the back go to a briefing room or the captain's.
Well, it's the same as the Excelsior, but they're less militaristic doors. They're more we associate the turbo lift doors being. So it all integrates into one giant piece more. Just feels like we've evolved into it,
Yeah.
It's nice. It's sleek. I'm not missing the tea table, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like it.
For me, this one's an A.
I would agree. This is an A.
Yeah.
Although I would like to see, and I suppose Adrian, did we finish a B? I don't think we did. Not on your watch. I'd like to see it without the presidential, striping. See how just the classic version would be. Because that would take a lot of the colour out, but yeah. Although it's interesting, we have Excelsior and an A, so S. Why are we giving... Or did we give it an S, or did they give it an S? Did they move, or did we say?
It got moved.
It got moved, okay.
I think we did say S, though. But I think somebody voted for it to be an S. Let's see.
So why are we saying...
Excelsior, S tier, love it, and the T table, Utopia Planitia.
Right. Because then why is this... not an S? Do you want to bring both up side by side briefly? Just to...
Oh, that's going to be more difficult, but okay.
Sorry. I just think...
I gotta shuffle and find it now. It's way back there. It's okay. Look at it. It's fine. No, it's fine.
Adrian, sorry, I forgot what I asked you. Which was it? Yes, we did do it, or yes, we skipped it? I think we skipped it.
Let me do some...
Because they're meant to be so similar, but... They voted them differently. It's interesting. Yes, the back wall's entirely different. Oh, they've cut out a console. That's what they've done. Yeah. They've cut out a console to make the back room a proper room. I like that a lot. I like the depth of the Excelsior, but I like the openness of the B, which is the opposite of what I just said, but I like them for different reasons.
Yeah.
There's under lighting on the consoles more, which is what the A brought. another ship brought. I like that a lot for the.
It just feels warmer, and not just because of the red carpet or the orange carpet.
Now I have no idea if scaling's appropriate or not, but the banisters look significantly. Like the inner bit looks a lot less big in the B.
I would say it is because look at the steps leading up to Sulu there.
Yeah, and the banisters just are less banister, but I actually like the less banister. It feels more homely.
Although there's these two, like one pillar,
yeah, which are weird.
Section is kind of stupid.
It is. I'm assuming though that if you were doing, we did both. Oh, we did both. Hey. with the different railings. So you did build a back console then? Huh. Was it like one of those like 1 days? I'm just talking about my guy here. So you just like 1 day just convert them, or yeah. Anyway, but I actually can't. I think probably the reason if they did it, I think they probably did it. They changed the inner layer because they knew they were having all the extras, the press junket people cramming, and therefore that's going to be dangerous to have.
Yeah, so they made the inner part smaller.
To have it out a bit bigger. You know, I think I want to give it an A as well, or an S as well. Sorry, I think both should be an S because I like them both for very different reasons, but they're both structurally so similar. I think they both deserve that S. Yeah, I really like the back console. It's just warm.
All right, now I'm getting confused again. What is this one? Is this this is from Star Trek 2?
I mean, they're all labelled when I sent them all, but I understand they haven't carried over. That is the Enterprise A.
From Star Trek 4? Or from... It's not Star Trek 5, that's for sure. So this is from Star Trek 4.
I guess. Doesn't make sense, does it?
Not really.
Well, it says Enterprise A Bridge TVH. That's what the tag says from the site. Hey, if you want to skip it, I don't have any strong feelings about it. It's also so similar. The only thing it's doing is beams. Yeah, skip this one because I don't know what's anything different about it.
Okay, we'll set that aside for now, maybe. And...
It's fine.
So here we've got Star Trek 5.
And well done, Donnie, for building these multiple things. Beautiful.
Yes. I like Star Trek 5 bridge a lot. I like the way the displays are. Again, nice lighting. I like the lighting on the bottom and the carpet. Captain's chair, I do like the look of it, even though it squeaks, I guess, but that's fine. And again, those Excelsior chairs for the other consoles. But I like the way that they're kind of adorned here with the charcoal gray. It's, again, a very warm, nice bridge. And it's got a uniformity to it because of the way the monitors are all done and all the stations are. So, yeah, I like this one.
Yes. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's so different yet not.
Plus the wood grain railing as well, which is a nice touch. I don't know if it's necessarily wood grain, but it's like a darker color.
Because we know this is when they actually built a new set. Set actually is new, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of 5. It's a muted, warmer but not red 5. And I always liked the gentle grey carpeting. It was brightening. The chairs also Excelsior chairs. I like the middle console. They keep that. The beautiful sleek touchscreen is very nice. The captain's chair is nice. The first time having a railing at the front looks like it's open with the 2 sets of steps. We've got the back. For me, it's almost like a streamlined era bridge where they haven't quite made a vibe. They've just sort of reset to a vibe, a mid vibe. Honestly, I don't have too many feelings about it. It looked nice in the movie, but it doesn't bring anything out in me. What do you think?
I can see why you're saying that, but see, the problem here that I'm having is I want to put this as an S tier.
Oh god.
The fact that fact, we didn't
Wow.
see it. We didn't see it enough, in my opinion, and I really do like it. So, um,
I
but
would have
yeah,
said
I don't know.
a gentle C because it doesn't equate. Well, it's okay. Like it's not, it's nice. It's fine. Like it's not doing anything particularly. I know it technically did do things first, but then like 6 is what takes over the pad at the back and the console, and the chairs are just Excelsior chairs. Like there's nothing new here, apart from the physical view screen, which is a view screen. It's not got the character.
Rear projection view screen, yeah.
Which is very cool. Just yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot of division in the chat too. We got B's, we got S's. Lance says I'd say A, but B might be a better rating for it. So somebody please decide for us, because I think we're far off on this one. This is one of my favorite bridges. I wish we would have seen it more. That's basically all there is to that. Yeah, that captain chair looks pretty comfy, gotta say.
It does,
See
yeah.
the tactical screen
All
from
those
the
chairs
view
look good.
screen. What was this one from anyway? This is from Star Trek V.
It looked good in the movie. It just looked simple and bright and clean and bright and clean. That's what I associate this bridge with.
Yeah.
Let me.
So clean, somebody was vacuuming it. Ray Ricks seals it with £5 for a B.
But I feel like Stuart would appreciate another one to at least get to an A. So,
well,
you would.
I would, but I understand why people say things like that. But yeah, if somebody wants to move it, feel free. I won't
argue. Let me do some scrolling from the film because that's obviously only a view. Let's have a look.
Joe Torres, member for 3 months at the rank of lieutenant, but he missed his old chair. He did. Shea Locomotive Productions, $5. 6 is so S, so 5 is A. Okay, so he wants to move it up to an A.
There you go. See, you're getting there, Stuart. You're getting there. One more, and you got your S. That's how
You're
that
an
works.
S.
You're an AH. Well, I will just say it has been a pet peevingly love of mine. The fact that the turbo lift is just a monitor sideways shoved into a cubby hole. I love it. It's the worst thing ever. I love it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's just clean and simple. It really is nothing going on. Although this, did that picture have red padding on the edge of the console? Did that picture have that? Because it's subtle, but it actually looks nice on the movie.
Red padding on the edge of the console.
It does. It's just very subtle. Yeah.
Where is this?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Okay.
Yeah, like it's really subtle, but it's actually. I wish that was brighter.
Excuse me. All right. Next up is this one.
Wow, this certainly doesn't sell 6 that well, does it?
This isn't 6.
Isn't 6?
Is it?
I mean, it's got the red padding.
This is 6, right here. Underneath that one. There, that's 6.
Oh, okay. What's this then?
So I don't know what
Enterprise
that.
A bridge Fin Alf. Okay. Stuart, let's go to Star Trek 6.
All right, let's go to Star Trek 6.
Yes.
Star Trek 6. There you go. Yeah, this is an S, 100%. I don't really like the addition of the clocks above everything, but it kind of makes sense for a military aspect. And it must have been an editing nightmare, but hey, I don't have to deal with that. So, but it's a neat idea, and it's a beautiful bridge. It's well lit, and the red really has good callbacks to TOS and gives it kind of a pop that is nice, especially with the black consoles. So, yeah, this is an S from me right off the hop.
Yeah, it's now full. And this is a very good image, right? You've got the glorious console, which is ironic because I commented how nice it was in the last bridge for having just that sleek, flat screen display. very futuristic, but I love the hybrid of those physical tactile buttons and some displays at the front. It looks tremendous. Like the navigator's back, very TOS. I love the red padding. Bold choice. But then again, the uniform's red, so there was a precedent to red looking good on screen. And I love it's like sort of leather-ish. I always make leather in my replicas, even if it probably wasn't leather. I like the texture of the leather. I like the cubby holes. It's, you know, that smooth round of the Excelsior. Of course, now we're getting to the kit bash era, but by having that single back wall, lovely TOS, sleek vibe. The red doors, the red paneling there, the grille lighting below the consoles, which is lovely. I love the strip lighting versus the big lighting of the 5. Yeah, it's a tremendous. Although you complained a minute ago, and you can see this is where they come from. Look, the Enterprise B railings, right there.
Yeah,
that stage just didn't bother changing them. So you know, credit to this for making that.
Just an odd choice to do that.
Yeah, it is. It is. But no, it just, this for me brings together everything I like about this era. Really, there's so little now. I've done a comparison of the TMP Wrath of Khan bridge here. It really is a hard reset into just a new design aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing, minimalist. This is now screens, and more screens. And you know what? They look damn good. Fills the bridge. Yeah, this is a tremendous a tremendously AS.
There you go. And Area 51 is back with $5. Thank you, Area 51. A definite S. So much texture and fantastic coloring.
Yeah, go ahead saying it. Lots of texture on this one. Yeah. It's tremendous. And the clocks are odd. Nowadays, you just wouldn't have a real clock. You'd have add a digital insert. But yes, that would be annoying.
All right. Oh my god.
Such a broad spectrum here. Oh no.
All right, this is a...
Oh, hold on, Stuart. Before you bring up the demon. 141 votes, Stuart. Favorite bridge.
Enterprise D. Well, you'll have to tune in. Everybody that voted for that on Friday, but 67% voted for the D bridge as opposed to the classic TOS bridge.
There you go. Interesting. Another
Interesting.
poll coming.
All right, guys, hit that like button. 94 of you still here, which is awesome. We were up to over 100 at one point, but a lot of people are sticking around. We have 94 likes as well, but 6 of you probably haven't hit that like button. So hit that like button if you haven't. Let's get up to 100 likes. Keep your opinions coming in because it actually matters, and more than you know. Put it that way. Super chats really help out. So,
Okay, I've gone controversial, Stuart. Read out when you see it.
do you actually like the USS Discovery bridge overall? Yes or no? Well, there you go.
If you had to pick.
All right. So I'm going to caveat this next one with it's a fine bridge, but this is the worst fucking picture I've ever seen of it.
Oh no.
Because it's a panoramic for some reason. Strange New Worlds bridge.
Yes. Well,
This just makes it look like a nightmare.
well, I had to get a general
Yeah.
general shot.
This looks so cluttered and awful, but it's better than the Disco Prize
Yes.
for many reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Discovery. Strange Worlds Bridge, sorry. Well, it's funny, you can see the light fixtures on the wall. Very similar. Like, I complained, what is the thing in the middle? Still there. Blends in better. It is the same set, right? But they finished the view screen. They shoved out the back corridor. They put in nicer wall door modules. The warm lighting really works. It absolutely is a good choice. Really should have stopped reflectiveness. That would have been a problem, but it's less noticeable here. The LCARs is better. It's almost just a hue shift to orange. It's a very minimally changed. What they did is they removed several of the mistakes of the last version. And that's all they had to do.
And yet kept some.
Yes.
Like the shiny floor. Put a carpet down. Or matte the floor. Make it a matte finish.
Yeah, it's like it does make it feel bigger.
Yeah.
But also how is that?
Well, those multicolored lights that I said they just put up there for shit sakes in the disco one, they're still there, but now they're all one color.
Give or take,
Which
yeah.
looks a lot better. And yeah, the screens overall just look a lot better. They were blue in the Disco Enterprise.
Cold,
Now,
empty.
now it comes to life. They still have lights at weird heights and brightnesses occasionally, but they don't have them on all the time. They're not flashing, so that's a good thing. But yeah, they've brought a lot of the TOS color back into it, and the front view screen is overly large, like overtly large, and it's just a bit of a problem for me personally. But other than that, it's better than the Disco Prize one. So,
and it's funny because reflection, you can already see you having a view screen window, right? But it's mostly a window versus a view screen. Even though exterior-wise, it's mostly a view screen, not a window versus vice versa. If the floor is goddamn reflective, say you're talking to an alien, he's very visibly reflecting the floor. You're always seeing double. Distractingly double.
Yeah.
How is this a good thing? At least the view screen element should be entirely matte to avoid... Imagine doing a space battle, there's things flying and pew-pewing, and you have an entire reflection on the bottom that's so visceral. Imagine an explosion brightening up the mirrored black. Why the hell would you want that? And that could be a really fun choice to see, like in the Discovery Bridge, you have different colours of metal throughout the floor. If you had part of it was matte, part of it was shiny, to create a patterned surface throughout the bridge, could look quite cool. You know, you're as if the walkways are reflective, which seems the reverse. It should be the matte, but you know, yeah.
And Josh Harden says the view screen on the Enterprise D was also enormous. Yeah, but that's the future, first of all. And it's floor to ceiling. But it's not super fucking wide like this one. Like, this is, like, way wide.
Well, it's a cinema screen versus a giant slit out your front of the ship.
Yes.
Especially with this far away. It's like... With the Enterprise D bridge, it sort of fills your vision a bit. Or at least somewhat. Yeah. Okay, where did we put the Discovery one? Because that's... Oh, F. Right.
This one I want to put a C.
Yes, I think I would agree to that. If they fix the floors, remove all the blinking lights, shrunk the view screen down by about a third, and did something else I can't think of, it get a B. So it needs a few changes, but it's... the core is there, and at least we're thankful for it did go. If it could, would have been better.
So now we're under our last one, and I gotta be honest, I don't know which one this is.
Enterprise C, last of the era.
Oh, okay, yes. Perfect.
Which, of course, is the battle bridge with more significant changes. This is a larger change. It's the iconic of this version, which I've redressed many other times. But yeah.
I do like the Enterprise C bridge. Seems a little bit underwhelming for a ship that is the Enterprise C, though. The Ambassador class feels like it should actually have a real bridge.
Yep.
This seems like... I mean, the back looks fantastic. Love the displays on that thing. But... this looks similar to the bridge that on the Steam Runner. Or was it...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they colored it for a different one.
Yeah. So I like the Enterprise C bridge. You never get a sense of the front of it though in the show. You just see the back, which makes you think it's a full bridge.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, you never see the view screen, so everyone who builds one assumes it's the battle bridge view screen because that's for everything. So everyone just sort of defaults that in because it's what they would have used. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all we got to say about it right now.
So this obviously for me is a fun one, legacy notwithstanding, because it is a tremendous kit bash, meaning what do we have, TNG chairs, whatever, which gives it a certain link to the future, but how can we maximise this piece of set and make it feel like a proto-Enterprise D? Because it absolutely is. Look, it's got a back section which raised with consoles, horseshoe. Like, it is actually really good as a proto D, considering the other ones we looked at from Star Trek 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. None of them even look close to this. Yeah. This is a proto D, so I commend them tremendously. having had this built, those 2 steps either side are ridiculously small. Oh my god. Like, this is not doing justice. We had set plans. We did, you know, like that second step. You will trip over this shit. It is awful. Right? Whatever. But that's terribly designed. Certainly the back railing at least should have been more interesting, kind of like the 6 one. But obviously it's the 3 flat ones to give an appearance.
Well, even put a console or something back there behind the captain as a link to Wharf Station, right?
Yeah,
cool.
It's not like to do so, but budget, time, and it was destroyed. I don't love the front console because, of course, why?
Let's block everybody's view while I'm doing my job.
Anybody working there would reduce visibility. Perhaps you could argue the captain could go there and do something manually.
I was thinking, yeah.
But of course, they want to link the back to the front, and if you do that, then the front now has a lot of empty space. So I get the logic, and of course, it's the Star Trek 6 console, so it's a good console, cool, but it's a very odd choice. Okay, I do like the side MSD style consoles where the which you can see the lady to the top, middle, I suppose, left. That's an MSD. Looks great. The front of the bridge kind of feels underdone, and because of course you didn't really see it, it extrapolates fine, so that's not good, but they're never really utilized. The 2 side doors, fine. Again, underbuilt. There's a certain flatness to anything, to any angle that isn't a camera in front of the helm, looking back at Captain, looking back at the back station. That view is tremendous. I've done shots of it. It's a really good view. The depth is there. Really good. As soon as you start moving the camera, you realize how the bridge was not designed for any other angle, and it falls down from being a high grade to a lower grade. But I mean, you know, money, budget, and time.
I am perfectly happy to give it a C for C. A C for the Enterprise C.
I would vote a low B because I really like the back bit, and for the logic of being
Proto
D.
The back part for sure, yes.
I would overall
Proto D, though, I like that take on it that you said. So yeah, okay, B.
There's more logic than needs to be. I would be very happy to say a good B. It's got a lot of character to it, and I use it as New Orleans in the film. These are for Steam Runner. There's a lot you can do with that.
Or the Saber as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Shea Locomotive Productions, $2. Are we doing the USS Bozeman? Oof, no. And also the Stargazer. I noticed wasn't here.
Yes. Let's have a look.
So in the meantime, we hit over 100 likes, which is awesome, guys. But 107 people here now. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. Make sure you're subscribed. Do all of the things. Consider joining the channel as well. And also super chat in. Your super chats have power during these tier listings. This is our community ranking. Then at the end, we'll shuffle them as we see fit. For me and Sam's like.
Yeah, I think a couple of these are moved to the second live because technically Stargaze is a TNG ship.
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance. It wasn't my choice to move them. So I think that was moved over. So there's a lot of things in the next batch.
They were kind of evened out number-wise as well, so it's a gradient. So okay, Stargazer and stuff will be in the next one. So
yeah, because we only ever see it with the with those uniforms.
Okay.
Well, dang. That's what I think.
You said words.
But yes, guys, now this is your chance to move things either for vengeance factor or for love factor. We'd love to see another 2 or 3 5s moving if you'd like. Would be great. And then we'll swap around to our final as contrast has come in. We'll give you another couple minutes, guys. How does this feel, though, with your initial brainness?
Feels all right initially, but might be able to make some changes.
I feel slightly sad for the big Discovery Enterprise, like right down there. Feels a little unfair until you realize the problems with it. You know?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Fuck it.
You heard it here first. Enterprise is going to get fucked by Stuart. But only that version.
Well, no, it wouldn't be. That's why it's on the F tier. I'd pick a higher class Enterprise.
Oh.
But you know what I mean. Ray Ricks, member for 24 months at the rank of Admiral.
Amazing.
We can't rate the JJ Prize Bridge because of the lens flare. We couldn't see it. Oh, that would be an F. Yeah, I didn't realize it wasn't on the list. That would be an F.
Oh, I don't even know how to process that, to be honest. Can I find a good? Because I can't remember the rest of the bridge. Like, Scientific is what I utilized. I didn't have the JJ.
I've seen it many times in bridge crew. At least, well, it's the Aegis's bridge, but it's still the same as the.
It's a bit better.
Anyway, Ryan K. Generations Bridge. Oh, that'll be next week, or not next week. Friday, next live. No, not next live. Next tiered live, which is Friday, because we're doing a live tomorrow as well. But that's a Trek versus. Anyway.
Okay, so we'll include the JJ while giving you a brief moment to shift things around if you would like. And if this is the inclination for you all to say, F it, we're shifting JJ Prize, hey, you do you, boo. So I'll find a more general image of the bridge because that, I think, is more useful. Let me bring it straight in for your viewing pleasure.
Josh says, I think with the JJ 1701 would be a D, though it has as many of the same problems as the Disco Bridge. Yeah, but it's fucking ugly.
Well,
Disco Bridge is ugly too, but it's so white and such weird consoles and barcode scanners everywhere. Red floor was an interesting choice as well.
It is much better than the Discovery Enterprise.
Is it though?
In first impression, yes. It's bright, it's clean,
yes.
It's colourful.
Floor doesn't reflect everything.
I love the red. That's a really nice choice to bring that red thread. It's not obnoxiously red. I didn't even know it was red. But it brings a whole lot of, I like the lighting fixtures. It's very Voyager in that regard, the way that the thing's split up. Well, I don't know why the hell the middle console is on a podium already. Like, you know what I mean? They could fall off a little cliff if they walk much further, which is odd. I don't mind the back two consoles, the mid ones, or there's big glass sheets behind them. There's that's interesting. Behind Bones, there's those two sets of consoles, one of which looks very similar to the Stargazer and the G. Very similar. There's the binaural things, almost one for one. The top circle bit is very much like the Discovery Enterprise. I'm sure they pull inspiration from themselves because Kurtzman, he loves his own universe. Like it looks like a Black Mirror fan film, like a really expensive fan film. We can't legally do Star Trek.
Yeah.
So do everything that is Star Trek, but also do it entirely newly. But it's not very flary. The lights aren't in your face. It's bright. It's clean. It's nice-ish. It's a fan film. It's good for a fan film.
So what do you want to rank it?
I'd give it a low C. In this picture, I should say. I can't see the console specifically, and I can't whatever.
Don't forget the big window so you can see the hull. You can see the saucer out front.
If anyone needs to make us put this as a D or F, I'm okay with that. Just saying. Yes.
Yeah, and then it has one super long console above the top at the back on each side instead of the smaller ones, and it's got this weird wavy pattern all the time. I don't know what the hell is going on there, what readings those are, but it's just visual. It's a visual nightmare, honestly.
Someone needs.
But I would much rather serve on this bridge than the Disco Enterprise bridge.
Yes. It looks like a more pleasant experience.
If you wear sunglasses, yes.
Yeah. It's like, do you need bionic eyes for the darkness and the glare, or sunglasses for the other sort of glare?
Yeah. I'm trying to put it at a D because it is better than the Disco Prize.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not going to be F, right? Like side by side, it's much better than F.
Yeah.
It looks nicer as an overall shot than Discovery Bridge, but it's less Star Trek because they're doing their own thing, right? Everything is its own thing. What do you guys think? Final vote and final chance to move things around. We'll do it on the 5. If not, we'll do our final mix up and see where the chips lie, Stuart. Could be anywhere. Well, not anywhere.
Could be.
If you guys think that should be in D, there you go. Well, put it at D then until someone makes a note.
Yeah, I'll put it at D. Okay, well.
And we are going to forget the Vengeance Bridge because it's just a painted black other bridge. Literally, just painted black for the week. Alright, so you guys don't want to change anything. That's your community lock list as well. I guess I'll read the poll and then we'll do our final list. Yeah. 68 votes. Do you actually like the Discovery Bridge overall? It's close.
Yeah, that's what I would call close.
74% say no, but 26% say yes. All right.
Yep. All right, let's take a look here.
So you guys are now locked. You've had your say. Thank you as always. All right, what stands out?
I feel like the cage bridge should be put up to a B, just for its layout and.
Okay, or a low B probably, but yes. Or mid B. Janolan back to a B. It's an S for some reason. Because people loved it. You guys loved it.
Somebody $20 super chatted, that's why.
Or is that a C, do you think?
No, I think B's fine.
A low B. Sort of own character.
Yeah, it's unique.
Shinjo to a D. It's just too damn reflective and uninspired enough.
Yeah, I don't have any other recommendations, honestly.
Interesting. So we've got TOS, Excelsior, and B, and 6, which of course are 3 of very similar sets, as in the last 3, because of course it is the same set redressed different ways, but successfully apparently. Each having their own unique thing. In A, we've got Star Trek 2, 5, and Cage, which of course are all actually unique in their own way, while either being simpler in their own way, but having the core of another bridge, or being so different yet working. B, we've got sort of everything else that's unique, but not quite getting A. Broad spectrum there. C, we've got stuff that we like but don't love. For various reasons. D, things we are okay but we don't hate.
We actively dislike. We just don't hate.
There are flaws with.
Yes, there you go.
And F is for failure.
Yes.
Okay. Really interesting. Really interesting.
We didn't do as much shuffling as we usually do.
No. Contrast did help a little bit here. Just to show how originality gets you so far.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. Fascinating.
All right, well, Friday, guys, if you're looking for TNG era, that's what you're going to be waiting for.
That's including ships that are still TMP era, but seen in TNG. So
Yes.
quite a few of those. Quite a few more Reliant kit bashes and Battle Bridge kit bashes, and you'll see a few of those.
Yeah. So there you go.
I like it. Big broad spectrum.
Yeah, for sure.
And if only they'd done a Excelsior TV show, they could have had the Excelsior bridge for a lot longer. Which would have been great. Could have seen a top tier bridge throughout.
Yep.
But yes, join us tomorrow for a Versus. I think we're doing another Star Wars meets Star Trek. See if you guys like that for a second round. See how the Force affects us. And then Friday for part 2. And Sunday for a very likely Trekyards Live, celebrating things and bobs and things. And things and bobs.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We love you.
We do.
I even kind of like this guy down here. Kind of, sometimes.
Well,
68, 69% of the time. I don't know. Anyway, he's Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Foley.
And we'll see you guys